Over the past few years, we have been talking about inflation, 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 how prices have been going up non-stop. But today, I'm going to talk about deflation in China and what we should do as investors. So China, often known for the rapid economic growth and development, has recently been facing concerns of slipping into deflation. Right. So what is deflation? Deflation is the opposite of inflation and is generally regarded as a persistent and general decline in prices. So why is deflation worrisome? All right. Because this poses a serious economic threat because it can lead to a phenomenon known as the deflationary spiral, where us as consumers, we don't want to spend money, we want to delay our purchases in anticipation of even lower prices. Then in turn, this consumer behavior can lead to a decline in spending in the whole economy, and then lead to reduced business revenues, their sales, their income, then lead to discouraging of the capex, the capital investments, and ultimately a economic recession. So why is China going into deflation? So there are many causes of these deflationary pressures. So let's just talk about some of them, right? The first one is of course the ongoing property slump. And everyone has heard of Evergrande, okay, China Evergrande. But the more recent case is whereby Country Garden, one of the biggest property developer in China, have already defaulted on two coupon payments on the bonds itself. So this is pretty worrisome because China is so big, and 1 billion of people, they have all put their life savings in all these property investments. So once it started their crash, it will affect a lot of people in China itself. Okay, the second thing is a sharp decrease in the prices of essential food items such as pork and vegetables, which is like totally opposite from what we have in Singapore, right? Ingredients are always increasing in the prices, but in China it's exactly the opposite. There's increased supply but yet reduced demand. And the third point is that there's a slowdown in the economic recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic, which is contrary to what a lot of people think. Right? So in fact, after the COVID pandemic, measures have been loosened. A lot of people in China, they don't want to spend. So there's a weak domestic consumption, and foreign investments are also not coming in because people are already afraid of China trade policies, how the Chinese government is controlling a lot of things in the country itself. So there is very poor foreign investments. And lastly, on top of all this, right, there's widespread unemployment as millions of youths, especially fresh grads, right, they cannot find any jobs after graduation. In fact, the jobless rate of 16 to 24 years old in urban areas have increased to 21.3% in July 2023. No, the question is what investors like us should do given that both the world's biggest economies, US and China, are not doing well. And I've done some research. So there are three investing strategies we can actually adopt, as the whole world seems to be pretty rocky now. The first strategy, right? We should focus on quality investments with solid fundamentals. Companies with strong balance sheets, stable cash flows, and competitive advantages. They are better positioned to weather this kind of either deflationary or inflationary pressures, and they can even increase their prices. And one example is Microsoft. So Microsoft Office, okay, if you have been a subscriber, your company have been a subscriber, they can continually increase the monthly pricing, and you still have to pay for them because you want to get your work done, right? And the next strategy that we can look at is defensive stocks or sectors, right? Because they permanently tend to perform well during this kind of economic recession or crisis because utilities, healthcare, and consumer staples, for example, PepsiCo and Semcorp Industries in Singapore, these companies, right, provide essential goods and services that consumers need even during economic downturns. Last but not least, we can also go for fixed income investments like bonds or the Singapore government securities SGS that provide a safe haven for us investors. If you think that the yield is too low, you can even go for income ETFs, right? Like take for example this Lion Philip S REIT ETF, okay, taken from SGX screenshot. It is an ETF that offers a sexy 6% dividend yield based on the past 12 months. And we should bear in mind that this is an ETF that is diversified across many REITs. So even if one REIT, underperforms, not doing well, there are still other REITs inside to stabilize the ETF in the long run. Okay, to wrap up, we won't know if China will sink deeper into deflation and even become a lost decade like Japan. It is a complex issue, especially in a controlled economy like China. And there are also various global events in place, like higher interest rates in US, the ongoing war in Russia, and all that. Okay, that being said, I think we can rest easy because I think there's still stable economic growth and healthy employment in Singapore. And perhaps we just need to limit our exposure in China stocks. But oh no, my Alibaba stock is in trouble. Okay, anyway, but with that, if you find this video helpful for you, I would appreciate it if you can help me to tap the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of such stocks analysis. Next up, don't forget to check out this video over here to know about the 7 stocks I have come up with to celebrate our National Day in Singapore. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and ciao.